Facing tough times on our journey, there are days when things get really hard. In those moments, asking for help from above becomes not just a choice, but a big source of strength. Think about stories like Job in the Bible. He went through tough times, but didn't give up on his faith. Like Job, we can look at passages like Psalm 34:17-18, which says, "When good people pray, the Lord listens. He rescues them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to those who have broken hearts, and He saves those who are crushed in spirit." So when things are tough, we can keep praying, stay strong in our beliefs, and work hard toward our goals, knowing we have wisdom and strength from these stories. When we find ourselves in the middle of really hard times, it's like this strong pull to just throw in the towel and give up. It's a tough feeling to resist. A bit like when Joseph faced some major setbacks in the Bible, being sold into slavery and thrown into prison. Despite all that, he didn't give in to the urge to quit. In those moments, we can relate to the words in Galatians 6:9, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." So, even though it might be tough, we need to resist that urge to give up and remember that brighter days can come if we stay strong. Despair may knock on our door, but leaning on stories like Joseph's and verses like Galatians 6:9 can give us the strength to stand firm in the face of hardship. This journey we're on comes with a lot on the line. We've got important responsibilities to our family, leaving a legacy, being there for friends, and looking out for neighbors. When we face tough times, it's not just about us. It's about showing that we can stand tall despite the challenges. Think of it like Noah building the ark in the Bible. He had a huge responsibility to save not just himself, but his family and all those animals. Similarly, our journey has a bigger picture, and rising above the tough stuff isn't just a win for us. It's like showing everyone around us that we can be strong no matter what. It's a bit like the verse in 1 Corinthians 16:13. "Be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong." So when things get hard, we're not just doing it for ourselves. We're showing everyone around us that we can be strong and resilient. When we're stuck in really long, tough times, it's like a never-ending challenge that can make us want to throw in the towel. But it's in these moments that we need to make a promise to ourselves to give it everything we've got. It's like the story of David and Goliath in the Bible. David faced this giant problem, but he didn't back down. Similarly, when we encounter what feels like an insurmountable challenge, we've got to be like David and not give up. There's this verse in Philippians 4:13 that says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." So when things seem too tough to handle, we've got to remember that we can push through with determination and faith, giving our all even in those long, difficult seasons. When we're going through really hard times, it's like standing at a crossroads with two different paths. We can either let those tough moments make us bitter and upset, or we can see them as chances to become better and stronger. It's a bit like the story of Joseph in the Bible. He faced some seriously tough situations, being sold into slavery and all, but instead of letting it make him bitter, he grew through those challenges. In times like these, we've got a choice. There's this verse in Romans 12:21 that says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." So even when things are tough, we can choose to let them make us better, not bitter, overcoming challenges with a positive outlook and personal growth. When tough times hit, we have a choice to make: either give in and surrender, or stand strong and declare that we won't quit. It's like making a powerful statement in the face of tough situations. Think about the story of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt. He faced so many challenges, but he didn't give up. Similarly, when we declare that there's no more quit in us, it's like holding on to that resilience. There's this verse in Joshua 1:9 that says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." So in the face of adversity, choosing strength becomes a bold declaration, backed by the belief that we can overcome with the support of something greater than ourselves. When things get tough, it's easy to feel sorry for ourselves, but that's not the path we should take. Instead, We need to rise above setbacks, hold our heads high, and boldly say, "I can handle this." It's a bit like the story of Esther in the Bible. She faced a challenging situation but stood strong without succumbing to self-pity. So, in the midst of difficulties, we shouldn't let self-pity take hold. There's a verse in Isaiah 41:10 that says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you." It reminds us to rise above challenges, maintain our dignity, and boldly declare our resilience, knowing we have the strength to face difficulties head-on. When challenges come our way, it's not just about facing them, but making a solid commitment to overcome. It's like deciding, "I won't let these challenges define me." Consider the story of Nehemiah in the Bible. He faced immense challenges in rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, but he stayed committed and overcame. Similarly, in our journey, making that firm decision to overcome challenges is crucial. There's this verse in Philippians 4:13 that says, "I can do all this through him who gives me strength." So when we commit to overcoming, we're not doing it alone. We're relying on the support of something greater. It's a journey where our determination meets the strength that comes from a higher power, ensuring that we don't just face challenges but triumph over them. Trusting God's plan is like handing over our future, even when we can't see what's ahead, to a God we know and believe in. It's acknowledging that His plan is way better than what we could come up with. Think about the story of Abraham in the Bible. He had to trust God's plan even when it seemed uncertain. So when we trust God, it's like saying, "Okay, I might not know what's coming, but I trust that God's got it covered." There's this verse in Proverbs 3:5-6 that says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." It reminds us that even when things seem unpredictable, trusting God's plan brings a sense of peace, knowing that He's guiding our journey in the best way possible. When we find ourselves in the uncertain middle of our stories, where it feels like we don't know what's going to happen next, the important thing is to stay strong and steady. It's like being in a part of a book where you're not sure how it's going to end, but you keep reading because there's more to come. Consider the story of Joseph in the Bible. His journey had many unexpected twists, but he remained steadfast in his faith. Similarly, in our own stories, even when outcomes are unclear, we can hold on to hope, knowing there's still more to unfold. There's a verse in Jeremiah 29:11 that says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." It's a reminder that even in the middle of uncertainty, there's a bigger plan at play, and our stories are not finished yet. When life throws hard punches our way, it's tough, but recognizing that we can overcome these challenges through God's love gives us the strength to tackle them directly. It's like saying, "I might get knocked down, but I won't stay down." Think about the stories in the Bible, like David facing Goliath. Despite the odds, he overcame through faith and courage. Similarly, when we acknowledge that we are overcomers through God's love, it's a source of strength. There's this verse in Romans 8:37 that says, "No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us." So when life hits hard, we can stand firm, knowing that God's love empowers us to overcome, rise above challenges, and face them with resilience and faith. In the midst of life's toughest moments, when everything seems overwhelming, it's essential to remember that God is right there with us. His presence remains unwavering, intricately weaving His divine plan into the fabric of our lives, even when we can't fully comprehend it. Consider the story of Jonah in the Bible. He tried to run away from God's plan, but God's presence pursued him, ultimately guiding him back on the right path. During challenging times, there's this comforting verse in Isaiah 41:10 that says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." It's a powerful assurance that no matter how tough things get, God is there to strengthen and guide us. Choosing to trust God's presence in difficulties is a transformative decision. Running away might seem like an option, but embracing His work within us is the true solution. Just as Joseph faced adversity and remained faithful, we too can find inspiration in Genesis 50:20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Even in challenging times, God can turn things around for our good, and by trusting Him, we allow His transformative work to unfold in our lives. In essence, the journey as a follower of Jesus involves unwavering commitment, resilience, and trust in God's plan. The determination to overcome challenges is vital, understanding that stumbling is not failure. True failure lies in staying down. The narratives of biblical figures, like Moses and Peter, highlight the importance of rising after setbacks. It's a journey of faith, resilience, and triumph.